much is it? But you know what I mean. It's obviously a lot of excitement generated in this space at the moment. And LAS Energy, as a battery tech company, has seen its share price move up after it was announced it was moving closer to commercialising battery cells that are significantly smaller, lighter, and apparently safer than current options. And these are batteries that can store the same amount of energy within almost half the size of what's currently available. Let's get a little more detail on that technology. Lee Finniear is the Chief Executive of LAS Energy. Lee, good to catch up with you. All right, tell us then, I mean, this sounds like a bit of a game changer. What sort of technology have you come up with?
It certainly is. The company has been developing lithium sulfur batteries, which are different to lithium ion because they use sulfur and carbon and eliminate all the heavy metals like nickel, cobalt, and manganese. We've got some great nanomaterials called BNNTs which help us to do that. So what we've got now is the latest announcement was based on us being able to reduce what we call the volumetric energy density, increase it by 45%. That reduces the size of the battery by a significant amount. And that allows us to produce a battery that is not only half the weight of lithium ion, but also is comparable in size, which is a really big breakthrough in this industry.
All right, what's the potential commercial application then?
Anything that moves and has to carry the weight of the battery is really a good target for us, particularly the highly differentiated sectors like electric aviation, drones, where they have to fly and carry the weight of the battery, but also in the EV space, where you want to get a much longer range for the same weight of cell. So those targets are really important. Now, just in the aviation and drone space, that's forecasted to be a $48 billion market just for the batteries by 2035. So it's really, really a good space with high margins for those differentiated high-tech battery cells.
Lee, where's this going on? Are you developing this here in Australia? And to the point of manufacture, where's that likely to happen?
Well, we are 100% Australian. We're doing our development in Geelong in Victoria. We're just building our phase 3 2 megawatt hour production facility down there. That's already in construction right now, with the largest dry room in Australia being built for that production activity. So from there, scaling up to 200 megawatts or gigawatts and beyond, those are the next steps beyond that when we come to final commercialization. We're hoping to see that in Australia. We're hoping to see government support for getting that to happen as well.
How critical is that government support and sourcing other forms of funding there? We obviously just had that snapshot of your share price. There has been a difficult ride over the last couple of years. You've received a bit of a boost off the back of this announcement. What can you tell shareholders? Why it's worth hanging on?
Well, certainly we're completely funded for our phase 3 development, so we've got years of runway to get done what we need to do, as well as the cash to be able to build that phase 3 and put all the equipment in. So we're really, really well funded from that point of view, and it's that result from that phase 3 facility that is really of interest to our OEM partners and also battery manufacturers. I've just come back from 4 weeks in Europe and the US, where we were talking with battery manufacturers that are operating large gigafactories, as well as OEM partners in the aerospace and in the EV sector. So what we're seeing is the need for us to have these kinds of breakthroughs, which we really are getting a lot of interest for now based on our capabilities. But then also we're now working with partners to do the testing required to get those batteries into products.
Do you have any competitors at this point? Anyone else doing this?
No one's doing this with the same technology as with the same nanomaterials that we have. So we've got a real competitive advantage because we're using boron nitride nanotubes to be able to increase the cycle life of the batteries. And as a result, we have access to those nanomaterials at a price point that no one else can get to as well. So apart from the IP, we also have the commercial moat, if you like, to make sure that we're highly cost effective when it comes to delivering these battery cells.
Yeah, that was my next question, just sourcing these materials, how you're doing that, where you're getting them from, and whether you have locked in those prices.
Well, the good thing about lithium sulfur is we don't need to buy any nickel, we don't need to buy cobalt, we don't need to buy manganese. So the cathodes are basically sulfur and carbon. And then on the anode side, it's just pure lithium metal. So those materials are readily available. Lithium is the most expensive part, but it's also needed for other batteries as well. It's common. So from that point of view, we're fine. And the nanomaterials we use are produced by a company called BNNT Technology Limited, which is a sister company of ours, and they've signed an exclusive agreement with us to supply and deliver those nanomaterials to the battery industry through us.
So, Lee, you said you've been on the road recently. Are you sort of close to any sort of MOUs, or at least getting close to some offtake agreements that may be in the pipeline?
Last year, we were very careful to limit the number of partners we acquired. We acquired a key collaboration partner in each of our markets that we were intending to address. In the e-aviation market, we've got Magnix Aero. In the drone market, we've got In Situ Pacific, and then in the heavy EV market, we've got Janus Electric. So working with those partners and collaborating closely, we're getting to understand the requirements of those particular markets and make sure that we deliver against them. And now we are delivering against them. We're working up towards broadening the partnership base, and that's something that I was overseas for a month doing, and that was really, really positive. So we signed a number of NDAs while we were over there.
Are these companies willing to step up as far as investment is concerned? I mean, obviously there are challenges, as we well know more broadly at the moment within the economies. Is timing an issue just as far as where we're at in the market cycle?
No, we're pretty good at the moment. As I said, during the IPO, we raised sufficient capital to take us through several years and to build our phase 3 facility. So we've been careful with our cash. We're not at risk of running out any time soon at all, and we're going to get to our objectives in terms of what we need to deliver for that phase 3 facility with cash to spare.
Well, it really sounds like an exciting step on the battery frontier. Lee, thanks so much for joining us from LAS Energy.
No problem. Thank you very much.